So today I wanted to take a little bit here to talk to you, give you a little bit of an update how things been going for me. I'm driving home here, home from work, and you know, the last 2.5 weeks or so here, I've been really clean with things since getting back on track for my daughter's wedding. If you're following my channel, you know my youngest daughter got married early in May, and that first 4 or 5 days or so, I guess, after the wedding wasn't the best, cleanest for me. Sorry, there's less traffic here. I had piece of cake each day for like 4 or 5 days or so. Even though I still ate mostly meat, I did that. So I had wedding cake that was left over and stuff. And so that wasn't necessarily the best, most cleanest way, I guess, of eating for me. And I gained 8 pounds during that week or so. I know a lot of that is probably water weight and so forth, but anyway, then after that, I got really back on track, really clean, stopped eating the cake. And I've been eating mostly beef, a few eggs here and there. I think I've had bacon once in the last couple of weeks. So it's been mostly beef, mostly 1 time a day. And I've been following Dr. Sean O'Mara's protocols. So I have incorporated fasting each week. I've done about a 72-hour fast every week. And so, you know, there's 2 days you're not eating. So let's say I eat on Sunday, wouldn't eat again until Wednesday afternoon, evening, whatever. So Monday and Tuesday, completely not eating at all, comes out to 72 hours. And so there's like 5 days a week that I'm eating, technically. And there's like 24 hours in between each meal. So kind of that 24-hour intermittent fast type thing, other than the 72-hour fast. And so I've been doing that. I meant to be doing like some sort of activity, sprinting or whatever, but in the last couple of weeks I have not done that. So it's basically just been the beef, a little bit of fermented foods that I dip my beef into, and then the fasting. And so I've been doing that, and I've lost, in the last 2.5 weeks here, I've lost 13 pounds. And when you figure out I had gained 8 pounds, technically it's only 5 pounds total, right? Net, I should say, 5 pounds net loss. But that's still pretty decent. For the longest time, for at least a good year or so, sorry about the shaking there, for at least a good year or so, I was pretty stale, I guess, with the scale. Things weren't really happening. I, at times, would notice a little bit of fat loss, where my belly was a little bit trimmer, a little thinner than it had been. But for the most part, you know, the weight on the scale was staying the same. So while I was maybe losing a little bit of fat, I was gaining muscle, so that it was kind of, you know, keeping it a wash. So I was pretty much weighing the same. Since I've gotten really strict here with mostly beef, doing the fasting, you know, the 72-hour fast every week, and making sure that I am taking a little bit of fermented foods with every single bite when I do eat my meal, it's made a huge difference. Number one, my craving is way down. My hunger is way down, which I believe has a lot to do with the gut being better than it was, and the microbes that I'm getting from the fermentation and the foods that, you know, is helping me to not have some of the cravings and hunger signals that I had before. So that's a big thing. Number two, my mood seems to be better. And number three would be that I am seeing a big difference in remaining belly fat that I do have. So much that even my wife noted this morning, like, you look thinner, quite a bit. Like, I can tell a difference. And somebody that sees you all the time, that's pretty decent if they can tell a difference, because a lot of times when somebody sees you all the time, it's really hard to tell that difference, you know. And I'm definitely noticing it with my pants that I wear. Even some of the shorts that I've been wearing as it's been warmer, they just don't fit as well. They're bigger. So definitely I am seeing that difference there, pretty big difference. I need to do a measurement of my belly and see exactly what it comes in at from where it was before and so forth, because I think that that's gonna tell a good story too. So even though total weight is only like a 5-pound net loss, I feel like there's a lot more happening, and that's part of why I have always been, you know, kind of against the whole idea of the scale and putting too much into your scale and how much you weigh, because there's more to it, with the, you know, with fat and muscle and so forth. And I do see some better definition in muscle, even though I really haven't worked out or anything like that. So I've had some really good positives here lately with this, and I'm gonna keep going with this. I think it's good to share my experiences with this so that people can see at least how I experience the differences here with doing the fasting and the fermented foods, and basically mostly eating beef. You know, there's been a little bit of other stuff, but not a whole lot. It's been predominantly beef. I am going a little cheaper with beef right now, because, you know, I know beef is a little more expensive, but I've been doing mostly ground beef, and I'm really pretty much cut my grocery bill in half by doing ground beef as opposed to steak, where it actually is more than half, because I was getting slabs of New York loin from Costco for $11.99 a pound, and I've been getting ground beef for either $3.99 a pound or $4.99 a pound, and that's obviously a lot cheaper. Again, I've been eating one meal a day, but when I do eat, it's been right around 2 pounds or so. So I've been eating about 2 pounds of beef, so somewhere around the $8 to $10 a day range, 5 days a week, because there's, you know, at least 2 days of, you know, completely fasted. So we're talking about $50 a month, $50 a week to eat for me. Some people might say that's a lot. Personally, I think it's pretty good. It's a lot cheaper than what I was doing. I was closer to $100 a week before, and now it's more like $50 a week. That works for me, at least. You know, my budget's not that tight, even though I'm trying to really tighten it up right now because of some expenses I've had. But anyway, so that's kind of my update, and I will keep you updated on how things are going. I really feel like this has been big for me, following Dr. Sonomar's protocols better than I had in the past, and making sure that I am having fermented foods with every single bite my food, my, you know, the meat that I eat. That's something that he really stresses. It needs to be with every single bite, just because the way it's so important for your gut and, you know, the bacteria and so forth that you have, right? The microbes. It'll get rid of pretty much all bad microbes and be to the point that you have pretty much just good microbes. So that is kind of where I'm at with it. I will keep you guys updated. Don't forget, I do live streams on Wednesday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And I will see you again next Wednesday. I don't know yet who my guest will be, but we'll have somebody and do a live stream then.